Hi guys, how are you doing? The motive of the stream is to discuss specifically the weekly analysis, and the next week, which we would be discussing, would be starting from like 13th to 17th of Jan. So this would be the second week. Really important stuff. Before we dive deep into the analysis, I want to look at the data that will be coming on Monday. We wouldn't be having any sort of data right here. So on Tuesday specifically, the time which you are seeing right now here is the Eastern Standard Time. That is a New York time. So in the morning of the New York at 8:30, we are having PPIs and core PPI and PPI monthly. So these are the data that is specifically for the change in the price of the finished goods and services sold by the producers that exclude the food and energy, and specifically it is one of the greatest indicator for the inflation as well, along with the CPI. So it's more related to the prices specifically of the finished goods and services. Moving further, we have like a CPI of on Wednesday at 2 a.m. because the London session starts around like 2 a.m. here. So it would be like CPI yearly that would be coming out. So you see, like there's not much of a difference in the forecasted values. Similarly, right here we see the data is quite stable right here. And on at 8:30 in the morning, we have US dollar CPI coming. The reaction isn't that much that is shown in here, as well as monthly CPI is remaining constant. Along with that, the yearly CPI is around about the same thing that you can see the value of the forecasted ones. So there would be volatility out here, but it can be like significantly low. So I think the trades that are in the continuation can actually unfold towards the side of the expansion. So on the other hand, we do have employment change of Australian dollar that it would be in the evening, and unemployment rate. This can actually on Wednesday, specifically on the Australian dollars, we can specifically see some kind of like changes in the employment change. That is the number of people getting less employed, and similarly like unemployment rate is around about like same, but we can get some of the reaction. So getting deep into this employment changes, the changes in number of people employed during the previous month. So number of people that are employed are a little less than they were previously previously happened, because the forecast shows something is not right. So on the pound, GDP is coming on Thursday at the same time as the CPI is coming on Wednesday. So you see right here, their GDP on the monthly level might get improved a little bit according to the forecasted value right here. So core retail sales is around about a little bit increase in the core retail sales, and retail sales actually deals with the changes in the total value of the sales at the retail level, excluding the automobiles. So it is a primary gauge for the consumer spending. It actually deals with the uh, total value of sales, like how many sales are happening at the retail level. So because retailers actually run a lot of stuff, and specifically creating the data for the the CPI. So unemployment claims are also coming, and around about there's not much difference. Let's see that how actually price deals with that. And on Feb on Friday, we have like a retail sales manufacturing data coming for the pound at the same time. So overall, you see that the data seems to be quite healthy and constant for specifically for the dollar and even for the pound. So we can get some kind of good reactions around here in the form of a continuation. So let's get deep into the understanding of that, how the market actually reacted around the big NFP level. So when you see right here, we were discussing that the taxi is basically holding this level right here. This was a range around here. There wasn't any kind of like a peak formation low around here, so that we can actually determine that sometimes like what happens, that price comes back down and then like moves on the upper side. So we didn't saw any kind of reaction, but we were kind of like not trusting this sell off that actually happened around here. See, many people must have been like trapped with the idea that the price is actually like holding, but the way we see like a bullish momentum around here, like see right here, the break right here that happened. I wasn't specifically in understanding that the price of the taxi can go on the downside like that. So after that, the price is actually holding here, and I've just like made my current ceiling level, that is the highest point right here. Although there is another level out here that we specifically can look at, is this one, this level around here, that can actually be the part of a resistance if the price kind of like breaks on the upper side. So let's see how most probable chances for the dollar index is like still it can continue on the upper side, I think till 20th January, because of the uh, changes, the shifting of the power towards President Trump rather than changing from the Democrats to the Republicans. So right here, like currently, I believe that price can still come down and break on the upper side further. This is what I actually feel currently about like the dollar after watching the data in front of you. So you see right here, there is also a break that is happening. So might be like, and on the other hand, let's, if we ignore this and take this as our resistance here, so kind of like the breakout that has happened is a good breakout. So price might come back down there, or maybe like bounce around here and can make a double top around here, and then we're gonna like further decide that how price actually unfolds itself. So moving further towards like USD CAD right here. So we have been like constantly in a discussion that the data for the Canadian dollar was good when it came with the NFP of so what ended up happening, that price although like break downside, but it kind of like is going in an upward channel like that. So we aren't seeing any kind of like proper move in it. So on this, specifically on this structure right here, I was expecting that if the price can come back down here and take these levels and then kind of like show us the reaction, but most probably like most of the people might be like selling around here. You can expect people selling around this, but you know, like the big boys, they aren't in much in that favor. Although our ideas were aligning with them, we didn't take any kind of position in the Canadian dollar at that time, so it's good. On the other hand, USD CHF and as an upper level right here, that we can actually look into, but see, our alert is also right placed right above there. But on the other hand, on the current scenario, because the week has ended, so I kind of like brought the level close. So uh, this was our level right here, and the break that has happened is really significant in that case. So if the price comes back down here, we do have an order block right here. And because mentioning this as an order block right here, because this is the point where kind of like the candles triggered this move. So let's see that if price comes back around here, so we can get some kind of reaction from that. So if the price actually comes back around here, we can just take a long position if the dollar index aligns with our plan. So prices can go on the upper side. Specifically for this reason, I most likely is interested in this structure right here because it seems to be more valid right now. So let's see how things run. USD JPY. USD JPY has been like a difficult player for a while. You can see right here it's in an intact range right here. Range, let's consider if the range starts around here. So it has been like 22 days that the price is like still 22 days, 8 hours that the price is still in the range, and the significant range isn't there, although like around this structure we did got a reaction. Let me make it more clear for you guys. Yeah, around here we did got a reaction, and most probable idea was that this is a peak formation right here. So prices can actually like go down a little bit and then kind of like react towards the upper top like that. But on the other hand, if you see on the contrary side that the prices are currently like holding this level, so if they wanted price to be like sold off, so there was a high likelihood that prices could have like made and tested this specific demand zone out here. You see like touch one, touch two, and there could be a third touch around here or even around there on the bottom level around here, but the price is kind of like stayed intact on the upper side. So there is nothing much right now in this as well according to my criteria. So now moving to Euro USD. Euro USD gave us a wonderful move on NFP. So this was the point where the Euro USD kind of like break on the downside. I was able to take this trade right here exactly on the NFP, but I kind of like entered around here. But the idea was that my order got slipped because on NFP, most probable chances are your order would get slipped. So my order got slipped, and I kind of like locked eh, exactly to this level. This is the point where I got out. So kind of like it was a good profit on that in that sense. So what are the next hopes for the scenario is that if you guys are thinking that uh, prices would be like turning around from here and moving up, in that case if the price is kind of like breaks this level or this structure, so there is a likelihood that prices can go on the upper side. But before anything happens, I think the price is gonna go down, make the low, and then moving on the upper side. And if the prices break this zone around here, in that case we can expect a move on the upper side. But if prices kind of like hold around within this range, uh, we can expect like a sell off. But really important stuff, guys, that you see right here. See if the how the price broke the resistance, and the intensity with which the price actually broke is like this. So this structure seems quite clear right here. We just formed a double top, internal double top, that is a local double top, and kind of like push the prices on the downside like that. So we did got a good reaction, and I'm happy with that trade. Moving next to Euro GBP, I'm just like really interested in this pair from after the NFP, like before, even like prior to NFP, we started getting the reaction after the pound getting really, really weak. So after pound got weak, there was a breakout and there was like a small pullback and prices went up like that. Although like the price has formed a peak formation high above here. So although the prices formed that peak formation I have here, but the reason for not putting these two levels right here, although I can put these two levels right here, but because I want to like see the reaction around this point if the prices happens. And on the other hand, if we see that the prices are still like intact within this range, so kind of like taking any action within this small range right here is not useful for me, because the way I trade, I need like a proper setup or retest or pullback in order to like moving on the upper side. So the way it kind of like broke around here, I believe that it is significant in that own sense, and any kind of like small pullback right now is the corrective move. Euro odd, guys, it was like most probable like a good trade for me, in a sense that I created the setup in my plan, but the thing is that it's still not ready, it's still not uh, right, it's not fully ripen, or it hasn't got ripe in that sense. I'm talking about like, see, there was a break around here. This was the channel right now which we had. There was like a break and the price went down, right? So after price going downside, most probable expectation was that we would be getting a reaction around here, but the price kind of like break it through, came to this order block right here. Price is kind of like holding this level right now, and this is another order block where which actually like kind of like a neckline right here for this M pattern right here. So uh, there was like a corrective move in my sense, and I was expecting that there are like tons of time that prices kind of like tried to push on the downside, but they're constantly like failing to push it on the downside. So in that case, right now, if the prices even like go on the upper side, forms a range like that, and then break out and then give us a pullback, in that case I might be like taking the trade if this kind of scenario actually forms. Until or unless I'm not sure about like how far actually it can exceed, it might go on the upper side like that. It can give us any kind of reaction, but I believe that if this is the move for the further continuation of the structure, like as a corrective move, and sorry, as an impulsive move, as a corrective move, but uh, there is not a proper correction if this is the start of our beginning of our trend. So on the other hand, I'm still considering this as an impulsive, and this is as a corrective move, and I can expect like price going on the downside. But right now the timing is not aligning with the plan, and the market is not showing us the weakness. Similarly, on Euro NZD this week specifically, I was quite sure about this move, but it kind of like didn't work in that sense, because this was a resistance right here. We do have an order block above here. Uh, right here we do have an order block, and see how the price is constantly hitting this order block, and it is kind of like a second time the price reached to this level right here. It was a first touch, a second touch. So let's see if the price kind of like makes a third touch, and then we might get a reaction around these levels. So I'm quite curious about like specifically like these kind of moves, because later on you see that NZD got weak, but on euro it's not getting that weak. So euro CAD on the other hand is doing exactly as planned. We did got a break around here. Let's make it more simple. Like we did got a break around this structure. Price came down, right? Price pulled back, continued, reached to this level, took the liquidity around here, and after the liquidity, price kind of like started selling. And right here we had like a small resistance, but kind of like price broke that level, price broke this level, and price even broke this resistance right here, and after that price went on the downside. So overall the structure is if we see the overall structure, it's kind of like we do have like a bearish move around here, but right now the price is within our range like that. So price is like moving in the range like that. So what could be the next possibility is just looking at this zone right here. Although like when the price is like reached to this specifically demand zone, which is right here, you can see the reaction that has happened, like kind of like reverse up the wick, and on Friday specifically with this kind of volatility, price couldn't even like touch, come back and fill the wick. So most probably, I think, I believe is that prices will might be filling this wick down there, and then we can get a reaction uh, for the top if the price actually continues. And it all depends upon specifically like the weakness of euro as well. Similar structure on euro JPY. You see right here that price has like kind of like formed a double top right here, and we had an order block above here. Right here we had an order block. So price came to the order block, reversed back. Most probable reaction was around here, but the way the price actually shorted, it's like wonderful. And I think that was a perfect scenario to take the trade. You see, like if you just eliminate this candle right here, so price is kind of like came back to this level, pulled back, and continued on the downside like that. So although the reaction was quite neat around here, and much most probably like they must have like enticed much of the people to taking the longs around here, because of this wick. But and this pin bar right here, most people might have like uh, got seduced by this trade. But um, the way it rejected around here, it seems like that they can push the price on the downside like that. So it seems quite clear. Euro CHF has been like attracting me for a little while, because you see right here prices. You see right here, the most important thing is that uh, kind of like a strong resistance here, along with this neckline right here. Uh, Same reaction around here, same reaction around there, and price couldn't even like break this level around this zone right here. And each time we're getting a reaction that is kind of like making us curious that what's up there. So in that case, you see right here that price kind of like made a similar structure in euro and went down like that. And after that, price went and retested all those like people who were like shorting around here to knock out their positions. And uh, again, prices kind of like started coming back down there. So we got a reaction above here. So if we see it like that in this small range right now, so high likelihood is that the prices can go down like that. So quite like understandable situation, and that it is important pair right now, specifically like Swiss and pound USD is constantly like making the lows around here. You see, so let's see how pound actually reacts around this level. I've placed it a little bit low based on my own analysis, but most likely the price would be taking this zone from the bottom. On the other hand, pound Aussie has been playing good. You can see that this is like a first time that a price kind of like came back down there and pushed on the upper side. You see the push is really clean, clear. Price like kind of like gave the similar structure like the way we are looking. But this kind of like a pattern should be like understandable in a sense that if you see right here, this is really important pattern, because this was the pattern that we are kind of like seeking in euro odd as well. So or euro, even on euro NZD. See, price kind of like this is like if this is a corrective move, right? No, sorry, this is an impulsive move. This is a corrective move, and you see like if you just kind of like try to understand that how this corrective move actually like worked, they kind of like break on the upper side, pull back, pull back, again retested that level, and then break that level. So for example, like if the price isn't down and if you see a corrective move, so this kind of like pattern we have to keep in the mind that price is going to go on the upper side, pull back, move on the upper side, and then break. So if somebody is trying to short based on this small area for hoping of coming down, your stop losses would be taken around that. So we can now, from now onwards, we need to understand that whenever there is a corrective move like that, there is a chance that price can come down. But on the other hand, there could be a chance something like that and then break on the downside. So don't rely specifically on this type of moves as well. We need a clear um, liquidation process in order to initiate any kind of move. So and I was discussing about the structures, kind of like really important, and I'll also keep it in the mind. So after the breakout of this neckline, we do have an order block right here as well. Price came back down there. You see right here, we have some kind of reaction, multiple touches around here. Price broke the level, pulled back, low hanging fruit trade, came back down. But the most important thing right now is that price is kind of like formation of a peak formation lows here. We do see some kind of reaction. So if the price comes back down and then started like going up, breaking these levels and giving us some kind of pullbacks, the prices can go on the upper side after that. So it all depends upon like the pound specific data that is coming. Similarly, guys, like GBP and ZD, I've been like talking about this trade for quite a long. You see like a similar structure, that there was a sell-off that happened and price went on the sideways, broke on the upper side, formed an M-shaped structure, pushed the price on the downside after forming the M-shaped structure, rather than like this small channel that is being developed. So after that, we do see like a head and shoulder here, 1, 2, and 3, break of a neckline, low hanging fruit trade, price came back down, and most likelihood is that price can continue on the coming on the downside. We might be getting some sort of reaction around this level. So let's see how kind of like price works on the Monday. Similarly, like GBP CAD gave us an extended move on NFP. Right here, we did got a reaction of the pullback, and uh, price kind of like first stopped. Price kind of like first stopped around this level, and after stopping around this level, there was a pull back and then continuation on the downside further like that. So GBP JPY right here, there was a breakout that happened, price pulled back, and you can see the way price broke out of the structure, kind of like give us a good move on the upper side like that. Then there was a sell-off after that, and you see that how extensive this corrective move was. If this is an impulsive move right here, the corrective move was like really big, and then a sell-off occurred. And then again, this is like really important point to understand right here, that when sell-off occurs, most likely the people would be trapped around here taking the shorts, and after taking the shorts, prices again went up on the upper side, retested this low around here, failed to make a higher high, and kind of like pushed on the downside further. And then again the prices started going on the upper side like that, and then a new cycle began with this kind of small types of breaches that has been like shown in here. And right now price is held at this level, and then again tried to push back and then went downside. So just a sec, guys, I need a little break. Welcome back. So now this is GBP CHF. You see, this is like a really like a sideways range right here, which we look at. So there was kind of like a move on the upper side. Prices came back down there. After coming back, prices went up. Price kind of like formed a respected this order block right here. We did got some of the reaction on the downside, but price kind of like held this level around here, and after that we broke on the upper side like that, and then the price came back down. After breaking this neckline, price went into the range and again retested these highs, taking the liquidity around that point. And after that there was like a pin bar order blocks, and like price pushed on the downside with a high intensity, a low hanging fruit trade. Price came back down, and after that we did got a reaction around this demand zone. You see right here, you can see the amount of touches that prices are actually like forming, and again the prices came back down. So the intensity with which the price is constantly pushing on the downside is most likely like price gonna go back to this order block right here, and we can get a reaction in uh, coming week. That after price coming back down here, if we see something like that, price is start making higher highs, and again can go on the upper side like that from this point. It's a legit setup right here. Australian dollar has been like a bad player. You can see how weak it is getting. So all this was a choppy range right here, a small channel as well. You can see the way price has been like forming a channel right here, and after this channel right here we did got a reaction of the breakout, and after that guys, like things got really choppy around here. There was a one push try on the upper side, again the price failed. We did got a reaction of the pin bar right here, kind of like showing us that prices can go on the downside, and after that we did got a reaction, and this was an NFP move that occurred. So overall, like Australian dollar is like super weak. AUD and ZD, guys, like on Euro and ZD, if you remember and recall, we didn't got much of a reaction, but on AUD and ZD we did got a good reaction. So prices are specifically in a channel right here. So you see like this is low, this is high. What do you expect? This is a higher low, this is a higher high, and this is a higher low, similarly higher low, this is a higher high. And you see after that, like what are your expectation to price to go on the upper side like that, and continuing the structure. But right here we did got a break and a reaction that kind of like triggering a move on the downside. So most probably, like if the price kind of like breaks this level, come back here, move up, give us a corrective move, forms a M formation, then we can expect a move like that on the downside for further. AUD CHF, oh sorry, AUD NZD. AUD CAD has been like a good player. My eyes are specifically on AUD CAD because it's a good moving pair. So right here we did got some of the reaction, and the way this corrective move was forming specifically, it's not a corrective move. Basically, it's more of like a continuation move on the downside. After that, the prices went up back there, testing this neckline, and this zone kind of like failed, and prices came back down there, and again a retest, clear retest, and prices went down further on NFP. So AUD I was expecting, hoping some reaction around here. We did got this pin bar, or a doji around here. We did got a doji around here, but it's kind of like still on the selling side, but most probably like prices can go on the downside. So what can we expect next? So for example, if the price is kind of like holds around this level, for example, so what could be the scenario is that prices can make like this kind of structure, come back down, break down, and continue on the downside, reaching to these demand zones around here. So this is basically a one order block on one day. So AUD has been like a bullish structure like that, but after reaching around this order block. After reaching around this order block right here, we can see that prices kind of like started selling, and there was a now most important point to ponder is that you see this is a resistance right here, and this is becoming a support, and we broke the support right here. So most likelihood that the prices can go down like that. But in any case, if we get a reaction in getting back into the range and then again reaches to this level, then we can get an exact move. So there are moves for the next week, so I think we are totally prepared for it. On the currently right now, you see on the New Zealand dollar right here, we we are specifically in this range, and the way price has actually breaking down, it's kind of like holding around here. So any sort of a pullback uh, can give us a move like that on the downside, but taking a continuation trade around this range, or around the 50% of this range, could be hard. It could be really difficult to take this kind of trade, but it is eventually possible if you have like a good amount of patience and plan. So this is what it is known to plan your trades, really important. On the other hand, if we see like the 50% of this move is it's around this point, so we might be getting some kind of reaction around that. So in that case, we need to be like super prepared about this stuff too. Most probability is that if kind of like price breaks, comes back into the range, so we might get a reaction around like that, and then price can go on the downside. So I'm gonna remove this right now, and let's keep it up there so that we should know that it's 50% of the range, and I would be placing my alerts too here because it seems quite significant. Let's place it on the downside because alerts are, if we know the alerts need to be triggered before rather than on the extensive move. So if the price come back around here to this neckline, we might get a reaction on the downside. So similarly, NZD CAD most likely would be touching this level. And if you kind of like want me to discuss it, so it's simply right here. So if the structure like starts forming, breaking on the upper side, we might get a reaction, something like that. And the JPY, you see like JPY kind of like tried, and JPY pairs with the crosses of different major currencies, we did got some reaction, but kind of like price can move on the downside. And secondly, guys, like if we can place a pending order around here, most likely is their prices will be going directly on the downside if the volatility comes, because there was like kind of like some of the data for BOGs in the form of the comments from their governor were coming. So now and the DCHF right here, you see there was a break. There was this is all corrective channel right here that is in front of you, and you see right here each time the prices are going up, but the way we found a reaction around this neckline, you see the prices started coming on the downside, and right now it's really important explanation right now that is happening. I want to make it more clear for you guys, so that just wait a sec. See, we got a reaction around this point. This is a corrective move, this is an impulsive move, this is a corrective move, and with this corrective move we are getting a reaction around this level, we are getting a reaction around this level right now. So there are two possibilities, that either the price gonna break on the downside like that, but on the other hand, if price come back up here in the continuation of this structure, we might get a reaction. And most important thing is that if the price comes back up here and failed to break or test this higher frame, perform something like that, there is a probability that price can go on the downside, and this would be like a good sure short trade. So let's see. CAD JPY, there are like certain times that I kind of like wanted to take this trade, but it's good that, so whenever you like about to enter a trade, so you need to understand about the possibilities, specifically it goes if it goes against you, and how the price structure is actually, price action is actually acting. We do have a small channel above here. So there was a breakout that happened, a small channel formed, price unable to form a higher high, and kind of like push on the downside. So most likely is that if the prices would be continuing on the downside like that, so kind of like makes sense in that. CAT CHF on the other hand is interesting to me as well. There was like a break from this structure, and right now like prices are standing here. So in that case, let's see, we do have a Canadian dollar data. Most likely price would be filling this wick up and moving on the upper side, because if this was a sell-off, so most likely like the price has like made enough of the structures around here, so that price doesn't go on the downside like that. So mostly I think it would be bullish. CHF JPY, one of the most clean setups out here, exactly on the order block right here. It's a first time touch, so we might start getting a reaction on the upper side, or can give us a small scalp on the bullish side, but most probably like things can move on the downside like that. So it's over. So guys, before I end the video, it's really important for us to plan the trade specifically, and this is the motive for this kind of video, is to for you to like understand the biases that are actually present according to me in the market. So we kind of like look at the both sides. So anyway guys, this is a small quick stream, although it's like 42 minutes, but still make enough sense for you guys to understand that how possibilities arises. Take care guys, have fun.